Well, hang on. Let me go and pull this up here, okay? I want to pull this up here so that you guys and gals can see this with your own two eyes.
Do you now that you know that Biden is like severely diminished, do you feel any guilt or
do you, Dana?
or insight into your portrayal?
Jesus.
Well,
good question.
This is really good, and we're going to reframe this podcast, the Julie Bowen podcast.
No, she's good.
We can flip it. No, but those are great questions.
She's better at it than we are.
I knew that he was compromised mentally. I mean, it was obvious.
Yeah.
But it was.
I mean, come on, everybody knew. If you took care of a senior citizen in your life, or you had a friend, or you had a family member take care of an older family member or something like that, you know the signs. You know the signs. You know the signs of dementia and Alzheimer's. Lord knows I've lived through it.
It's a delicate thing in the comedy world. There were a lot of people did not want to do anything that would kind of ding him in like an awkward way.
But it's comedy.
That's
It is comedy. Everything's open to ridicule. The Democratic Party put a senile old goat in charge of the country. And Otto Penn was signing executive orders. Nobody knew what was going on until that infamous... Well, actually, everybody knew what was going on, but it was finally the big reveal. The big reveal. The big reveal. Hold on, as we all like to say on this show.
All lies will be exposed.
The big reveal was, you better believe it, was during the Trump debate. Biden just wasn't all there. You know, I swear, all the Democrat nominees for 2028, we need to ask them a serious question. Like, how much did you know about Biden's mental fitness? Every single Democrat nominee in the 2028 Democrat primary needs to be asked that question.
Do anything that would kind of ding him in like an awkward way.
But it's comedy.
That's it. That's the key. If I can do Biden,
that's the idea. But
if
that's
I
not
can
what
make
everyone
Biden
thinks.
funny to everybody, then I am where I want to be. And then to make it funny, it had to be recognizable.
Right.
And so there's certain things I did not include in my package. Sorry, you would do a sexual pun on that package.
Package means wiener.
Okay. So I'm trying to set him up.
No.
It's a
By
little
the way,
wiener.
Wiener?
The biggest one was this. I'm not kidding around here. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you're a comedian. The whole art of it just... See, here's the thing. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Warhammer 40K fan. I'm going to keep my pausing here now for a minimum. But I'm a Warhammer 40K fan. And there was an infamous game that Malkador the Sigillite and the God Emperor of Mankind were playing. And in that game, the Emperor calls Malkador a jester, a clown. But see, the thing about the gesture, you know, back in antiquity, in the Dark Ages, they reminded the lords and ladies, the kings and queens, the princes and princesses, and all those of high esteem that they were human, bringing them down to the level of the common man, that they themselves could deal with a jest. The whole idea of comedy is to make fun and of everything, from the left and the right. Popular movements, and yes, even hated movements. Politicians that are popular and politicians that are hated. Nothing is off the table.
I did not include in my package. Sorry, you would do a sexual pun on that package.
Package means wiener.
Okay. So I'm trying to set him up. It's a little early.
Wiener?
The biggest one was this. I'm not kidding around here. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest one for me.
But it was fantastic. I
think it's easier
Thank
to make fun of him if he's a president, if it's just a 90-whatever-year-old man. Just go, look at this asshole. So once he's president, then he's more fair game to say. But no one made fun of him forever.
No, well, he's sort of neutral. There wasn't a whole lot to until he started doing like, no, for real.
Well,
there was a treasure trove of stuff to make fun of him about. There was. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
But they didn't. But no one did. Yeah, no. And guess what? And by the way, the fact of the matter is, I'm not kidding around here. Come on, folks. This isn't rocket science. And then the whole, I wrote the bill. Because I know how to write bills. You can write a bill faster than he's ever written a bill. Wild Bill, Hickok, Alfred Hitchcock, 3 times the charm. Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the free
hell.
world.
That is, I'm sorry, having watched SNL since I was a wee child, and yes, David, you know I love you, but that it is so crazy when you do that.
I
It's
love
so
it.
fun.
I fell in love with it. It took me 2 years to kind of get it and get all the different toys, I call them, on the carpet and pick them up one at a time.
2 years.
Well, because he kept stacking. But look, the first 6 months, it was just Sweet Joe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just
my
like
dad lost his job. Right in this tone. Not kidding around. It's number one, the one part. Number two, what the guy said. Number three, you know the drill. Come on, folks. It isn't right. So it was just that. And I thought, well, it doesn't have the pop or energy of Trump or even Obama or W. And then I heard him whisper and yell. And I thought, oh, here we go. And then the defiant 50s guy. There's no crisis at the border. Yeah, but you said, yeah, I'll get your facts straight, Jack. I'll beat the hell out of you. You want to do some push-ups? You're a dog-faced pony soldier. You know, the 50s guy threatening.
Amazing.
So Biden eventually was my favorite because he had like 10 hooks.
Did he acknowledge it?
His staff came to one of the parties, middle of the night. Hey, we just got to say, I think I still have the cards. We love your Biden. Why don't you, Joe probably love it too. Why don't you come down to the White House and have lunch? It never happened, but, you know, because he said, what's lunch? Is that the thing you do before dinner?
Just watch him eat a paper bag and you got to go, hey, no one says anything. No one says anything.
Yeah, so there you go. So why are we talking about this? Well, because former White House physician appeared before a House committee investigating Biden's mental fitness. This was a week ago. So, you know, my goodness gracious, Cretaceous. Dr. Kevin O'Connor, the former White House physician who treated then President Joe Biden, will appear before a deposition before the House Oversight Committee on July 9th. A source familiar with the committee's schedule confirmed to NBC News. O'Connor agreed to appear after being subpoenaed by the committee's chairman, Representative James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, who is spearheading an investigation into Biden's alleged cognitive decline while in office. Comer is specifically focused on Biden's use of an auto pen for official government business. In addition to O'Connor, the Oversight Committee has scheduled transcribed interviews with former Biden White House aides Neera Tanden, Anthony Bernal, Ashley Williams, and Anna Tomensi. Those aides are scheduled interviews without being subpoenaed. O'Connor could be a key witness in the committee's attempt to prove allegations that Biden's diminished capacity led to key decisions being made by people other than the president. The committee has yet to offer any specific evidence to back up that argument. As for the use of the auto pen, the Department of Justice Office of Legal Counsel issued a memo in 2005 that concluded that the practice was legal. A federal appeals court ruled as recently as 2024 that absence of writing does not equate to proof that communication did not occur when it relates to the use of a presidential auto pen. But also, here's another thing, too, about Biden's mental fitness. Democrats walk out of Senate Judiciary hearing probing Biden's mental fitness. So Democrats are refusing to participate in the first congressional hearing focusing on allegations, again, this was about a week ago, of former President Joe Biden's mental decline while in the White House. Only Senators Dick Durbin and Peter Welch attended the kickoff of the Senate Judiciary Committee Wednesday morning, with Durbin, the ranking member, immediately walking out after calling the event a distraction from the real issues in the panel's purview, such as President Donald Trump's deployment of military to respond to the immigration protests in Los Angeles. So again, this article is from June 18th. This article is from June 23rd of 2025. And so now here we are. This is all looking into it. It's all crashing down, and it's all being revealed. Look, the Democrats knew that there was something wrong with Joe Biden. Everybody knew there was something wrong with Joe Biden. And we got to beat this dead horse once again, that Joe Biden was not mentally, physically fit to be president. He was not mentally or physically fit to be running in the primary. And while he might have been on his last grasp of being self-aware, this says a lot about all the members of the Democratic primary in 2020. And I'm going to call them all out. Senator Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, Bloomberg. You got Bet on My Stork. You know, again, you know, got Pete Buttigieg. Everybody dodge. It's Klobuchar. And everybody else. All of them that were part of that Democrat primary. All of you knew that there was something wrong with Biden. Now, the Democratic establishment, as we all know, has made it very clear that they get to pick who they want behind closed doors. The Democratic primary is nothing more than you better believe it, controlled by the people who have the money. So it's now abundantly clear that Bernie was never going to fight, and anybody that endorsed Biden probably knew full well just how mentally unfit he was, that he was on the decline. And during these last 4 years under the Biden-Harris administration, where censorship really hit independent media hard, Gee, Democrats, I thought you cared about free speech. Now you do, now Trump's in office. Everybody now is seeing the madness for what it is. So brilliant job, Democrats. Brilliant job, Democrats. Brilliant job that you had a senile old man become our leader. And the comedians, Hollywood, entertainment, the influencers, the vote blue no matter who industrial complex, boy, oh boy, did you form a shield wall. What do you mean there wasn't anything to make fun of him about? There was a lot. Him looking confused, him stuttering and stammering all over the place. And yes, this was a national embarrassment. We need to find out just how bad it truly was. And we already know that he has a very serious stage of cancer. Can you imagine if Biden got reelected into office? Like already then, will we be talking about Vice President Kamala Harris taking over now? I don't mean to be beat a dead horse, but here we are. Here we are. Hey, Democrats, what are you doing? See, it's all a lie. And it's all being revealed and exposed as it should be. As it should be. And never forget those that defended Joe Biden, that said that he was okay, or how dare you make fun of his mental acuity. We weren't making fun of it. We were pointing it out. But where was Hollywood? Where was the comedians? Where was all the people who were so boisterous and loud? You were loud under Trump. I'm noticing the same people being loud again. But where were all of you? Where were all of you when it was needed the most? Well, now I see you. Pretty soon you will have people making fun of Joe Biden. But it's like too little, too late. And for those of you who, like you, Bernie, or AOC, everybody else going to bat for Biden, you had a chance to really do some good things, maybe. But you didn't. Why? Because that's not how the Democrat Party operates.